shouting out loud. I've done everything that I can do. So who am I? Who am I to you? If there's something that you need to hide, this time I'll be fine. All I'm asking is you shed some light. Who am I to you? I'll be walking on a bridge of lies, one step at a time. All I'm asking is you shed some light. Who am I to you? I've done everything that I can. Who am I to you? I've done everything that I can. Who am I to you?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pretend Pundits. My name is Andy. That is Aidan. And below me is, he's not a guest anymore. He is officially the third Pretend Pundit. It's Sean back on the show, everyone.
Hey, part of the furniture. Thanks, Andy.
Woo. Yeah, here we are back again, pretending to know what we talk about when it comes to football. As always, we ask if you can start off the video by just the thumbs up under the video you see now. Just put a little like on the video for us. It does help us massively. It'd be much appreciated. We've got plenty to talk about today. As normal, we've got our Premier League review. We've got a little bit of European football to look over as well. We're going to talk about the Manchester United takeover news and then looking ahead to what's coming up. So let's start off, first of all. Aidan, how are you, mate? How's your week been?
It's been all right. It was all right until the weekend. I would say how's your week been, but football-wise, you've had a decent week. So,
football aside, mate, we can get into everything football, but just you and yourself.
Overall, me and I've been all right, mate. Yeah, keeping busy. You know how it is. Keeping busy as always.
Lovely.
Yeah, just fucking grinding away.
And lovely Sean, how about yourself, mate? I see he's got a fully upgraded camera now, so I was a bit annoyed about this because I was like, my wife watches this podcast, and now Sean's going to be looking like a fucking snack down there in 4K.
Yeah, I'm going to do OnlyFans and maybe some makeup tutorials after, but yeah, nice new camera with a nice little halo thingy. Yeah.
We'll get the link to Sean's OnlyFans in the description, ready for next week.
Yeah.
Ben, good evening, mate. Evening, gents. He says, Oliver Turner, welcome in. He says, hi, Aidan. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hi to you
Hello,
too.
Oliver.
Joe, welcome back in, mate. Good to see you. Should we get straight into it then? Should we have a little review of the Premier League football?
Yeah, man.
So starting off then, you can see a sad little Potter down there, but we're not going to talk about him first. We'll kick off. It was never going to be a happy week for all three of us. Unfortunately, with Arsenal and Aston Villa being the early kickoff on Saturday. I'll let you guys take the floor. Sean, if you want to kick us off, mate, give us your thoughts on the game, what you predicted and what you expected to see and so on.
Well, I knew that we'd never keep a clean sheet. But then when you've got Tyrone Mings on the other side, you knew they weren't going to keep a clean sheet either. We weren't in the races for a very long time. And if it wasn't for Emi Martinez's incredible heroics at the end, I think it might have been a draw. But yeah, he put a great header in. Nice cross from Jorginho. Whacked it in.
Fucking disgusting fucking behaviour. No, it was fucking just shower shit in the second half. I called it at half time. I said, a typical Villa, we always do this, fucking concede late goals. I was speaking to Andy at the half time break, and I was worried that it was going to happen. And obviously, it doesn't help when, fucking hell, Martinez is wasting 12 minutes of a game pissing about. So it gives Arsenal more time. But yeah, it is what it is. Obviously, I'm a little bit pissed off because the fourth goal wouldn't have happened if the third goal happened. And I'm not going to go into the VAR thing about it all. But yeah, we had the similar goal ruled out in the first leg of that fixture early in the season. But yeah, I'm not sour or bitter. I think Unai's got a lot of changes to make. There's positives from the game. Watkins on the score sheet again. Again, it's just defensive issues that we need to sort out and tidy up. Martinez, unfortunately, looks like he can't be asked to be there after coming out and saying he wants to play Champions League football. He's too busy pissing about and whatever else. Like, I know the third goal he couldn't really help, but yeah, I don't know. Something needs to fucking change.
Love to see it. I did see a really good Twitter thread actually about it. Is the greatest headers of all time, and you've got Van Persie's header for Holland, Ronaldo's one for Juve, and then you've got Martinez.
I fucking know where this is going. I fucking know where this is going. Fuck's sake.
I have to say, for the neutral, I didn't really have a dog in the fight. Obviously, any Arsenal dropping of points will be beneficial for United if we have a title race, which we'll question that later on. But yeah, I mean, great game for the neutral. Ben's in the chat saying the second Villa goal was awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Was that the one where he sent Ramsdale the complete wrong way?
Yeah, that was Coutinho, wasn't it?
Coutinho's
second one.
Yeah, lovely goal that was. And then Martinelli with a shit out in this time round. It's normally Martinez giving the shit, but
I think he was just giving it back, wasn't he?
well,
Do you see a Bonglahor said that he didn't like him celebrating before he goal, and they said it was really disrespectful. God,
Oh, come on.
you have
Lord,
to love to see that sort of stuff in football. I'm sorry, but I don't know whether Abonglahor's saying that just to play devil's advocate on the opinion, but for me, it has to happen, doesn't it? If you're walking into an empty net, you've got to give it, especially to Martinez, who's notoriously one of the biggest givers of
shithousery.
Exactly.
Like he loves it.
Ross Barkley did it, didn't he? A few seasons ago. Was he at Villa when he did it, or was he somewhere else?
No, he was at
Everton.
He was at Everton when he did that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. I think. I don't know. Fucking. We should have at least got a point out of it, but Martinez shagged us up the arse. So.
Well.
Fucking. But yeah. We move on to next week.
Yeah, I think I remember Sean saying a little bit before the game as well, saying, I just don't understand the way Jorginho, the way he's playing him, whether he's a good fit for us. And then he absolutely belts one onto the back of the Martinez's head.
Oh, no, it was at the front of it. He saw it coming.
Yeah. He got man of the match as well, didn't
he? Yeah.
Who, Jorginho?
Yeah, Jorginho got man of the match.
Really?
Yeah. Don't know why. Don't know why. I don't think, to be honest, I just don't think Arsenal were, like, they started so slow. So slow, and that's why I thought, fucking hell, I was like, we're in, like, 3 points could be a possibility here. I'll take one, but they've started really poor. Next thing I know, mate, 2-2, 3-2, 4-2. I was like, well, fuck me, that soon turned round, didn't it? So now that's just happened. But again, that's why they're up there, isn't it? That's why they're up there challenging where they are, because they can do that. They've got the ability to just turn results around. They can start slow, but Jesus Christ, they can soon turn it round.
It stinks of the Man City game and the last day of the season when you basically give them the title.
Yeah, give them the title, 2-0 lead, lose 3-2. Like, what the... It's Villa, though. We always do it. We always concede late goals, we get complacent, or we just switch off all the time. It's been for years. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's just a club culture. I don't know what it is, but it needs to fucking change because it's not good.
I think I saw a stat on the game as well. When they went 1-0 up, it was goals in the first 15 minutes. Aston Villa was actually top of that table after that goal with 9.
9, yeah.
Ahead of a lot of others. So that's something really good to have in your locker. But like you say, if you're going to be conceding the late goals as well, that's at least that's an area that you need to improve on.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can ever shut up shop, especially against the teams that are attacking like this now, like your Arsenal, City, United, teams that will just attack until the 95th minute and be absolutely relentless. I think it was always going to happen, sadly. Sometimes, like, I don't want to say like the Everton game for Arsenal, but the attacks just didn't come to anything.
Yeah.
But we'll see, mate. We'll see. Next game up for Aston Villa, do you know who it is?
It is... Oh, I knew it was. Wait there 1 second. Let me do my research.
Research on the go. What about Arsenal? What's their next fixture?
Did he say it was Leicester? I think we've got Leicester next, haven't we?
Mm-hmm. It's a double game week, so Premier League fantasy managers, if you've got Arsenal players, don't forget that. They've got a double game week next week. Brighton, Brentford, and Man United, from what I can tell, haven't got a game. So,
yeah. Our next game is Everton at home.
Ooh, Everton.
So tough team when they want to put it on. They're very physical.
On a good little run under Dyche now as well.
Yeah.
They are, was it 2 wins of the bounce?
You're getting some points. I think they've won 2, lost 1. I could be wrong. We'll have a look at that when we get into the form table.
Yeah. Well,
and then obviously, I say obviously, it doesn't always feel obvious. You always get that feeling as a United fan. I'm sure, Sean, you can relate to this. Just having that painful expectation of seeing your team lost when it should be an easy win. We're starting to overcome that now with Leicester. If you do follow us on TikTok, you would have seen I had a perfect prediction for the game. But just saying, I feel like it's that was probably the second most important game of the week for me personally. If you would give me a choice now of Man United win the Carabao Cup and lose to Barcelona, or the other way round, I'd lose to Barcelona and take a cup.
You boys were on for the quadruple as well.
Yeah, the mighty Europa League Carabao Cup quadruple.
Still a quadruple.
I'm not gonna get all Liverpool fan on you and say we're on for a quadruple because it's just not going to happen, is it? We're going to be dead on our feet by the middle of April, I think, if we're still in all the competitions.
Even the title race?
I think so, mate. I mean, look at our midfield now. If we're just dead struck with injuries, McTominay's only just come back. Van der Beek's out. Casemiro's good for a suspension every few weeks. Eriksen's out until, I think, April as well. Fred is about as inconsistent as VAR.
Is Fred?
Honestly, Fred was more creative for Leicester today than he was for United. It was absolutely shocking. But that's just Fred in a nutshell. You put Fred on a pitch and he'll... Coming off the bench, I love Fred, but starting, he'll be great one week and he'll be honking one week, and he was this week. Luckily, De Gea saved our bacon at least 3 times in the first half.
Could have been 2-0 down.
Ten Hag even said it in the press conference after the game. He said, we were terrible in the first half. We were very, very lucky to be ahead, which is not wrong. But after we went 2-0, Leicester just collapsed and we scored a quick third. So
that save De Gea made, it almost looked like, I don't know if you ever remember David Seaman's save against Sheffield United. It was like one of the greatest saves of all time. We kind of scooped it out of the goal as it was just going behind him. It was kind of like that De Gea kind of had to go down and scoop it out at the same time so that it didn't go into another attack.
That was the header from Iheanacho, wasn't it?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, Neville said it was like a Gordon Banks save. He was very impressed with it. I'd say great performance for De Gea today. I didn't see who got man of the match, but I personally, if it wasn't for Rashford getting 2 goals, I'd have probably given it to De Gea. Other games this weekend, then we had just a hilarious game, Newcastle-Liverpool. It was one of the most boring games to watch, in all honesty. Late kickoff Saturday. It's got the makings to be one of the most important games for both teams in the season. Liverpool trying to get a bit of a resurgence together for top 4. They go 2-0 up after 17 minutes and Pope's sent off in the 22nd minute. And honestly, that game was just dead. I don't know if anyone saw it, the highlights or whatever, but what Nick Pope was thinking, I have no idea.
Yeah, like, it's just bizarre. I don't really get like his thought process behind doing what he did. I don't know how he thought it was just a good idea in any sense.
Yeah, it's not like it's a new rule about handling the ball outside the box as a keeper is a red card. It's not. That's been a rule as long as I can remember. Yeah,
but especially just to run out and cradle it.
He was so close to putting his head on it, wasn't he?
Literally,
kind of ducked down.
Yeah, just kind of like cuddled it. And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he knew it. He knew what was going to happen, and he didn't argue it. But as we got Oliver Turner saying, "Up Carrius," that's literally what it comes down to for them. What's his name? Dubravka is cup tied. Cardalo's on loan. I can't remember the name of that other keeper you said. He's not going to start over Carrius, so surely.
No, it'll be Carrius, 100%.
Did you say, Sean, that they're appealing it? Or they want to appeal it?
Yeah, Eddie Howe, because he come out and said, like, they're thinking about appealing it because they're not entirely sure on the actual rules, and come off it. Come off it.
Where is they?
Now, what was he, about 25 yards out? Cuddling the ball?
Yeah.
It's further
like they're spooning it.
Crisp packet hands, yeah.
Yeah.
That's honestly, Rashford is going to eat Carrius up for dinner, but at the end of the day, it's not about just the goalkeeper. It's about who's in front. You know, if they're on their form, who is it? Botman and who's their other centre back?
Botman and
not even memorable.
Is it Donk?
No.
Donk.
You got Dan Burns. Dan Burns that left back, I think, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Tripp's right back. Oh, what's the other name of the Newcastle centre back? If there's a
It was Lascelles, but I don't know if he's still there.
If there's a Newcastle fan in the comments, let us know. Sam Ray, welcome to the stream, dude. Trying to head a ball that's rolling on the ground is an interesting tactic. Fabian Schär, that's the one. Yeah, his head just bounced. his head just bounced off the ball as it like planted into the floor. It was just it was comical, but you can't argue it. I'll give Dubravka credit; he made a couple of good saves after coming on, but the game had completely died. United should play their second keeper too to make it fun.
Who's the second? Oh, is that Tom Heaton?
It'd be Tom
Oh,
Heaton,
it's-
won't it?
You'd think it's Butland, but no, it'd be Heaton.
It'd be Heaton, yeah.
Heaton played in the other one, didn't he? So
Who would you pick, Heaton or Butland?
who would I pick?
Yeah,
I'd have to go with Heaton.
yeah.
Just purely on the fact that Butland hasn't played for us yet, and to give Butland his first game at Wembley in a final wouldn't be fair. But I don't know why we're talking about it. It's going to be De Gea, isn't it?
Yeah.
I hope after today's antics, honestly, he was brilliant. So I'll probably do a little preview ahead of the cup final next week on TikTok or something. So if you're not following us on TikTok already, there we are at the Pretend Pundits on TikTok. Links in the description. Follow us on there. Thank you very much. But yeah, Liverpool won. Gakpo scored his second goal. Wowee.
On fire.
On absolute fire. I'll tell you what, Darwin Núñez's goal was pretty good. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. A friend of mine.
A bit of form.
Yeah, a friend of mine said Weghorst needs to start getting the same amount of stick as Núñez. And I was like, well, one was 90 million and one's on loan from Burnley. So I think there's a bit of a difference. But yeah, Weghorst couldn't buy a goal at the end of today. I swear to God, he had enough chances. His overhead kick was electric, but couldn't quite get it on target.
It's more glow in the dark than electric, mate.
Oh, Right. Enough of this. I'm preparing my personal apology to Sean on TikTok if Weghorst doesn't score 10 goals. He should have scored 3 today, the useless
Mate, I would put money on it that Weghorst won't score 10 goals in the Prem.
Well, if you'd have caught me a few weeks ago, you probably would have got some money out of me, but no.
Yeah. You're not having that bet now.
No, honestly, he's useful to us in a way, but not in scoring goals, which is bizarre anyway.
I think Casemiro will outscore him this season, mate.
Yeah, he's scored more than him already. I think he's on 3 goals. But you want to see the drop off. You want to see the goals at Man United, right? Rashford is on, what is he on now? 24 in all competitions. I think the next person to him is like Martial on 8. And then
Jesus Christ,
it's just a load of people on 4 goals.
Yeah.
Martial really played 8 games for you. I can't remember him playing for you.
Martial,
Let alone scoring 8 goals. Really?
It's in all competitions. I don't know in the Prem, but Martial, mate, he's doing well under Ten Hag, but it's just his biggest problem, like I've always said, is just injuries. He just can't stay fit for a good run of games, which is a shame.
Are they counting goals in the Papa John's Trophy or something?
The Papa John's Trophy, that is called the League Cup, my friend. Put some respect on the name of that trophy.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's have a look. Darwin Núñez will become one of the best strikers in the world. He's got the potential. He just needs to start picking up. It's like, I don't know, everyone's got potential to be great, but let's see how he does at the end of this season before we get carried away.
Yeah.
Got 11 in the Prem now, I think. I heard that stat earlier.
Who's that, Núñez?
Yeah, 11.
Well, that's not
too
bad.
bad. That's
If
not
you
bad.
can
That's decent.
if you can get to 20, that's more than you can ask out of a striker, isn't it? Really.
For a first season, but I think it's his XG is so much higher. Like his XG for goals that he's converted is just so low for the number of chances. That's why he's getting stick.
Yeah, because all the chances he's actually missing.
Yeah, Oliver says Weghorst won't score 5, never mind 10, and Martial too lazy. I probably agree with you on the Weghorst thing. I still hold out hope, considering if we get through the Europa League, we might come up against a bum team. You know, we haven't got to play Leeds again, unfortunately, so he won't score there. Bournemouth, we've got to play again, maybe, but we'll see. We'll see what he can do. Maybe there's a bit of magic waiting to happen somewhere, but he's doing a role for us. Martial, the Martial lazy debate is a strange one for me because he always gave off that vibe from his body language. But it always annoyed me because he has the ability, just as he starts to get criticised heavily, he steps up and scores goals.
a little bit like Ozil, wasn't it? Because Ozil was kind of sauntering around the pitch, but he was doing stuff.
Yeah,
At the beginning, and Martial was doing stuff at the beginning, but it's just the way he looks over at the bench. He looks like he's heard somebody whispering about him, and he's like,
Yeah.
and the example that I had from today as well was you have a look. He gave Garnacho the first 45 minutes and Sancho the second 45 minutes, and I think that might have been, in my opinion, a trial for Thursday. Like, you both get a half, and whoever I think plays the best will start. And Garnacho, he always looked like he's up for it. He's running to the ball, chasing the ball down to the last second. But when he gets the ball, if he's not running at a defender, he can't really do much more with it. Whereas Sancho just looks so naturally able to pass, pick out a pass, carry the ball, and he does it. So you look and watch Garnacho, you're thinking, oh, he'd die for the ball, he'd die for the team, he'd do everything he can. But he's not doing it, whereas Sancho just looks like it's too easy and he's not making a lot of effort. So with Martial, I get that, but under Ten Hag, he's very well. But if he can't stay fit, then for me, he's got to go. That's Martial rant over. Other results. So Brighton and Fulham, as quiet of a game as it was, Fulham scored a last-minute winner. You could say that was quite a big game. Considering they're both up there probably fighting out for a Europa League or Conference League spot next season.
Yeah.
And the goal was quite nice as well. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. Forest versus Man City. Now, another upset, and Sean is smiling because that is points dropped for the nearest contenders to the title at the moment. What were your thoughts on the game, Sean? Did you see the highlights? Did you see anything about it?
The Bernardo Silva goal was it was phenomenal. We don't really need to worry about them for points, though, because they're going to get docked 50 points and their club's going to fold. So,
That's true.
I don't know if you've seen Kayla Nevas's saves, though, but he took a ball straight to the balls, didn't he? Point blank.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it's straight at him.
I don't know whether Sky Sports cut it out of the highlights, but I did see some of his saves in that game, and you're right, he was bob on. I think Dean Henderson should be worried.
Definitely. It's gone from third choice at Man United to... How many goalkeepers did they sign this season at Forest?
Probably about 7.
Yeah. Seven keepers. Eighth choice now.
Yeah, I mean, they're both on loan, aren't they, Henderson and Navas? But I think Henderson's burnt his bridges with United when he interviewed after the game. Yeah. It's not a coincidence he's played for Real Madrid and PSG. It's crazy that he's at Forest, to be fair. He's made some brilliant saves. I think he deserves his spot in the team. I think he could probably even do better, questionably. But I think it ended up as 23 shots in total for City against Forest's 4. Forest only had 1 shot on target and they equalised. Haaland, as well as Navas keeping them out, Haaland missed 2 cracks at an open goal, which...
Yeah.
Was it 2?
Yeah, well, 2 back-to-back. What did he do? Did he hit the bar and then it came back out to him and then he just spooned it wide?
Yeah, well within the 6-yard box as well.
God.
Easier to score than to miss, and he's just blatant. I don't know whether he's just trying to smash it as hard as he can, but...
I think as the weeks go on, we're slowly getting proven that Haaland is human after all, but he's still flying ahead in goals, so I don't think he's going to be too worried.
No.
But yeah, it's just Man City just bottling at home to Forest. I mean, I know they've beaten Liverpool this season, but hey, this is what we was talking about when you lost to Man City the other day. Is it all over for Arsenal? They go and get their job done, and City drop points again. So ever changing, I'm sure.
They'll get docked points. What does it matter? We don't really care about them. They're not really contenders, mate.
Yeah, it would be annoying. It would be annoying if they was to only get docked points for this season, but I don't think they will get docked points for this season, right? So I was listening. I think I mentioned it last week. That Kieran Maguire who was talking about it. Someone said, "How long will it take?" And said, "Well, that's the thing that no one knows, right? But if you've got 115 charges, if you think you've got to prepare a case and evidence for every single one of them charges and have them all heard," and they said, let's just say it's 1 week per charge. That's 2 years. So, and even if they do one a day, that's going to take us beyond the season, which we know is not going to happen. So,
I love what Tyler Sykes has just put in the chat.
I've just ignored it. I've just ignored it.
Villa on top, Gunners on top.
Yeah, he's a first-class cock.
I think that's
It's even worse because he's a fucking Liverpool fan as well. Like, I don't get it.
Come and join our success,
excuse
Tyler.
I think that can be the new motto for the pundits, can it? And for now,
Oh,
no. we welcome it. We welcome it, Tyler. Aiden's been upset ever since about 2:30 on Saturday, so he's fine.
Yeah, I'm still not quite over it yet. We're getting there.
Ben Ray, Garnacho couldn't understand Luke Shaw, and that's why first half Leicester was splitting you down the right. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that or not. I think the reason that Leicester was splitting us was because Fred basically gave them the opportunities that they needed. Lindelof was okay. Martinez, for the first chance when Harvey Barnes was through, Martinez just completely lost his man as well, which isn't like him. But when he's got his back to goal and he's got to run, he had a really difficult job. I wouldn't put that on Garnacho at all, personally. But hey, we'll see what happens on Thursday. What else happened? Oh yeah, the sad little man we've got down there, Graham Potter. Odds slashed on him to be the next manager gone.
He has to go.
I think they're looking for a project manager. That's why I don't think he'll go. But yeah, they were really poor. They just need a striker. They ain't got any strikers.
I mean, City won the league without a striker.
Yeah, they played KDB as a false nine. They had Jesus on the bench. They just didn't play him. They just had him on the bench rotting. Was like, no, fuck it, we'll sit KDB up there as a false nine. Why not?
I think he's at the point where now Chelsea are just completely out of excuses. But I still don't think Graham Potter has to go just yet. I just don't. Realistically, what do you think is the conversation happening in the Chelsea boardroom tonight or last night?
I think Todd Bowley's going, how much money do I have to throw at this problem to fix it?
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, I've already thrown $500 million.
Yeah.
But like, I can't do much more.
Realistically, though, they're not going to spend any more money.
They are in the summer.
They've got 1 foot out of the Champions League.
They just need a striker, don't they? Is Lukaku the problem? The solution to their problem? Will he come back?
Well, they've got. Is it Nkunku they've signed? Nkunku they signed.
Yeah.
They'll probably play him up top as a striker. The team they've got currently, because they're playing Kai Havertz, aren't they, in that role, like a false nine kind of thing. Their team has the ability and are more than capable to be beating teams like Southampton quite easily. Like they should be. The money they've spent, the players they've got, they should be going to Southampton away and winning 3-0 comfortably.
Bottom of the table, Southampton at that.
Do you know what I mean? Like they shouldn't be losing 1-0, playing poorly to a free kick from James Ward-Prowse. With the team they've got. They always are, aren't they? They always bloody are. But do you know what I mean? Like, they've got to look. Like, what's their form, huh? What is it? 2 wins in like 15 games or something? That is poor. Like, ask yourself, if it was Arsenal, if it was United, that was your manager, what would you think?
Yeah.
You think he's got to go?
Yeah. It's 2 wins in 17 or something like that.
2 wins in 17 is fucking awful. Considering how good Potter was, like, what he did at Brighton, phenomenal. And now he's at Chelsea, you've got to sit there and think, no, this isn't good enough.
I feel like they've spent a lot of money on potential rather than current ability. Like that Enzo Fernandez, he looks like he's going to be a great player. I don't think he's there. The Chernobyl Aaron Lennon isn't there yet. But he looks like what a player he looks like.
Yeah.
There's loads of them across the whole pitch. I mean, you got Sterling who's been there, done that, and he looks like a shadow of his former self at the moment.
And he missed a sitter as well to level the game late on.
Well, then that's it now, isn't it?
That's not Sterling, is it? On the edge of the 6-yard box, missing a sitter, not him at all.
No, he buries him. But that's what it is now. Their confidence has been hammered. Team morale's gone. I'm assuming they've lost all faith in Potter.
Yeah.
Because, come on, like they have. So this is the performance. The results aren't going to come. Like now, they're just not going to come. They might scrape a few draws, or they might scrape a 1-0 win occasionally. But most of the time, I think it's going to be a case of they're going to lose these little 1-0 scrappy games, and it's going to look like Sunday League football from Chelsea all the time because no one knows what they're doing. No one's got confidence. They're just not arsed now. It's like they're just thinking we just need to get this season over and done with. Like we need to get it out the way and just start fresh. Get these new players in. Also, the current players must be sat there thinking, fucking hell, like, do we need to be worried in the summer?
Mm-hmm.
They've signed 34,000 players in January.
All on 8-year contracts.
All on 8-year contracts. Like, am I going to be here in the summer? Like, who's being replaced? So that's already ticking over. Team morale's just fucked. Like, I don't know what they've done in January has made their club worse for the rest of the season. Come the summer, maybe, when they get rid of a load of players or whatever, but currently, they are in deep, deep shit.
I think Paul Merson said it perfectly. They've bought a team full of individuals where they've not thought about the whole piece, the jigsaw piece. They've got pieces of jigsaw from different teams, and they're trying to put them all together at the moment. And you've got, Mason Mount was awful again yesterday, but he's been so good in the past.
Yeah.
Something's not clicking for him. Sterling's been great, but it's not clicking for him. It's nice to see Aubameyang not even make the bench now.
He's not in the registered squad for the Champions League either, is he?
Yeah.
But I mean, they're not going to be in that for very long, so it's not a worry.
No.
But I was a bit worried then when you started that sentence with, I agreed with what Paul Merson said, because usually he doesn't say much to agree with. But yeah.
He's spot on.
It's a team full of individuals. I think you have to expect at the price for Enzo Fernandez that he's going to be good. And one of their best signings, in my opinion, Felix, is only on loan. So and it's very likely that he won't renew. I'd bloody love Felix at United, I would, but I think that's completely thrown out of the question. He signed a new deal at Atletico with a big release clause. So
where do they sit on financial fair play? They spent over £500 million, and then they could finish 10th or 11th, 12th, further down the table. They're not going to get European football unless they win the Champions League, which looks unlikely.
I mean, it's only a 1-0 to overturn, is it?
Yeah,
against Dortmund,
who look like a proper team, though.
Yeah, they're just quality, aren't they, Dortmund? Like, they're different level.
They just play like a team, don't they?
And if you've got a team who's got no morale up against a fucking very informed Dortmund,
I'd be worried.
Full of youngsters who are full of quality, I would not be sat there thinking, oh, we've got a chance here. I'd be thinking, we're out the Champions League. Oh, we're going to go to administration. Like, we're fucked.
I mean, I think Chelsea would probably have been happier with that draw than they would have if they'd come out, obviously, against, I don't know, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, PSG. But Dortmund is a beatable team because they are very much, they always have young talent, but they're very beatable because they're just essentially a selling club.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's only 1-0. Anything can happen on the night. I think they need to take, as well as the manager taking responsibility, I think the players need to have a look at themselves.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You can't just put it all on Potter. But obviously, he's the one who has to. He's going to sit there and take the brunt of it, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think it makes it worse because a lot of Chelsea fans are asking the question of why have we got rid of Tuchel and then got Potter in, and now this has happened to our club. We won the Champions League last year, and now what?
Yeah,
we're sat in 10th place.
I just don't think the team likes it. Doesn't appear that they even like each other. Azpilicueta was down. He got kicked in the face. He was knocked out, and then you've got Mudryk and Felix on the edge of the box doing a passing drill,
just doing 1-2s.
Yeah, he's got paramedics around him making sure he's all right, and it's like the Chuckle Brothers at the corner.
I saw that. That was. I mean, I understand they got to stay warm and stuff like that, but yeah, it's a bit out of touch, isn't it?
Bit of compassion for your teammate that's just been knocked out.
Sums up then. It sums like the club up at the minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Chelsea haven't got an easy run ahead now. Tottenham away next in the league, Leeds at home, and then obviously Dortmund again in the Champions League, and then Leicester away, Everton, Villa. So, all jokes aside, I think you've got.
It's not an easy run.
0 points, knocked out the Champions League. I'll put a prediction now.
I don't think it will. I mean, going back to what I said earlier, if you're in the boardroom, are they just hoping for a bounce back? Or, I don't understand. Surely you just have to go, right, Potter's not our man. Whether it's the training that isn't working, the players that aren't playing together, the dressing room must be gone by now. You need to get a manager in who can manage this rebuild, if you like, of Chelsea and start building the foundation for next season. Go, right, we're going to have no European football next season. We need to start building for the future now. It's over, isn't it? You have a look at the top four and the race for top four. They're not getting Champions League. If they scrape Conference League or Europa, they'll be lucky.
Yeah. But then it's a case of, like you say that, but then I know, like we're saying, I'm saying they need to get rid of Potter, but then you've also got to think, ideally, what manager they're going to bring that's going to take them to the next level. People would, like Chelsea fans will probably sit there and go, oh, Pochettino would be nice. He's not going to go there. There's no Champions League football. There's nothing appealing to them apart from the fact that they can spend money next season.
Sam Allardyce.
I don't know about Poch, you know. I don't know whether he wouldn't go there just because of the Tottenham thing or not. But they say, right, look at all this money we've just spent for you. Look at the players you've got. I think Poch would rip your hand off for that opportunity, but
I don't know.
I think it's just
He
the
wants
Chelsea
that Champions
thing.
League football.
But what's he got now? He's got Champions League football if he's got BT Sport at home.
Oh, you fucker.
But seriously, I mean, there isn't any ready-made managers out there to go. Mourinho, maybe a third stint.
He loves to spend money. Yeah.
He'd do the job. He'd do the job.
But
He'd sit there and go, "Yeah, we're not in Champions League. Give me 1 year. We're back in Champions League."
the thing is, he probably
Champions
would.
League and I'll quit.
The thing is, he probably would. He'd probably get them in the Champions League for the not next season, but after. It's just
Piece of piss.
Yeah. Joe Shackleton says, "Bring the special one back." They're going through what United just went through. I wouldn't even say we had it that bad. To be fair, I mean, we didn't spend as much money.
Like, I don't think you ever went through a phase where you won only 2 games in 17 games. I don't think you ever went that bad. Like, never
Not
sat
at
in
all.
10th position. Like,
Never.
you were sat in 8th, 7th, and people were on United's back like, this is horrific. Managers were getting kicked out left, right and centre. Players were in and out of the club. Glazers were getting called out left, right and centre. And Chelsea, they're like, well, they spent 500 million, sorry. Yeah, it's fine.
I think they'll be annoyed though because they
next
didn't have a
season.
choice about their owners being removed.
Fucking hell.
Obviously, all political and stuff. But
Yeah, but then, bloody hell, like, I'm not being funny. There's new owners come in. He spent 500 million. Chelsea fans are going, fucking hell, we'll have this. But then going, right, can we have the 500 million and can we have a really good manager, please? Because the 500 million is no good with this donkey at the fucking club. Which is awful because I love Graham Potter. I sat there before he went to Chelsea and thought, fucking, I'd love to have him at Villa. I'd love to have him at Villa. Everyone was saying, like, oh, he can manage England. Like, he needs that big manager job. He's got the fucker. And I'll tell you now, he has well and truly fucked it for himself.
structurally, is there a problem at Chelsea potentially? Like, do they need to just say to Todd Burley, like, look, get away from this. It's not a video game. It's not a simulation. This is a real football club. Get a good team. Get a good board in. A good director of football, maybe.
But that's what I mean. Oh, go on, Sean.
I don't think that they have any transfer targets. I think that they're genuinely looking at who everybody else is going for and poaching them.
Yeah.
You know, we were in for Mudryk. We spent 8 months flirting with him, and then Chelsea came in and go, "You want that money? There's that money." You know, it was done in 2 days, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Same with Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah.
Liverpool. That was a big talk. Him in Liverpool. All of a sudden, they go, "No, fuck you. Watch this. We'll have him."
Yeah.
Did it with everyone. All the signings they've made, there's been talks about that player and another club going on, almost close to completion or bids about to be made or something. And Chelsea have just stepped in and gone, no, you're not having him. We want him. We'll just pay you this. have it, because then that way the other clubs can't strengthen because they've got the players they want. But then now they're sat there going, like Potter must be sat there going, fuck me, I've not even asked for any of these players. Like, they're not fitting my style of play, so what the fuck am I meant to do?
Yeah.
And now they are where they are because Todd Burley, or whatever his name is throwing money everywhere at random players.
Exactly. You look at Brighton's players that they've had to work with, you know, a couple of players in from like the Belgian league and little leagues across Europe, 2-3 million on these players. Occasionally the big signing, like I say big signing, but they've never had like big players, big personalities. And as Joe said earlier, he can't manage these personalities of these players. That's another worrying thing. The fact that Potter's still in a job, whether he should or shouldn't be, just stinks of Chelsea don't have a plan.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
You love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, if Tuchel hadn't have been sacked by now, he probably would have walked.
Yeah.
100%.
Because, you know, he's clashed with PSG's owners and stuff before, and I don't know, he just probably, I don't know. Chelsea, I do feel a little sorry. I don't have as much, you know, disdain towards Chelsea fans, but I've got to feel sorry for them. Their club's just being fucking mucked around at the minute.
Yeah, it's just all over the place. No one knows really. I think it's more the fact that no one really knows why it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're sat there going, we've spent this money, we've got Graham Potter in who did this at Brighton, and then they're sat there going, what the fuck is going on? Like, why is this happening? What has changed? So there's 2 shells left, apart from he's left and a couple of backroom staff. Don't know.
That's it. I think if he's lucky enough to survive the week, I think by the time they've played Spurs, he'll be gone. I think.
Yeah.
So we'll put our tiny little violins for Chelsea fans away now. We'll round up the rest of the games. Everton versus Leeds finished 1-0 to Everton. Again, they're on their little run there. There was a good little fight that saw 4 yellow cards. I don't know if you saw that, but maybe just the pressures of relegation getting to both teams.
Yeah,
you know, getting to that stage.
Fight.
Yeah, it's just getting to that stage now where, you know, beat or get beaten. So
yeah, literally.
No shots on target for Leeds, which I find odd. They always step up to play when they play United. They get plenty off, but
yeah.
But for the goal, it was a brilliant finish. I don't know if either of you saw it. Coleman sort of was running down the right. He curled it with the inside of his foot. Meslier was off his line. Like, I don't know if he knew he was that far off his line, but yeah, hell of a finish anyway.
No, I've not seen it, mate.
Channeled his inner Cal the Dragon on that one.
Yeah. If you saw that, it's almost a spitting image of that goal, to be fair, from the charity match, whatever that one was. Brentford Crystal Palace. I saw the highlights of that. Nothing really to shout about. 2 good goals, though. Both headers. Elise assisted Eze, who came on as a sub. Elise is going to be some player. I'd absolutely love him at United. Can't lie.
Oh, mate, it's class. Unreal.
And Jan out with an equaliser. Wolves, Bournemouth, again, another dead game. Wolves just being inconsistent, not being able to score. Massive win for Bournemouth.
Huge win for Bournemouth.
We'll take a quick look at the Prem table. Bournemouth and Everton's wins lift them actually out of the relegation zone.
Yeah.
Which is mental. What really annoys me about this table as well, right? If you look at Everton, they're on 21 points. If they had 22 points, it would look so nice and tidy. It would be 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. But we can't have everything we want in life.
No.
Yeah, so Everton's form at the minute, out of the last 3 games, won 2, lost 1, which is ideal for them. You know, they're getting a little bit of a gap.
Yeah.
Leicester losing today. Again, I think even as far as, I don't know about Palace and Villa, but I'd say even up to 13th with Forest, any of them with a bad run can drop down. Southampton, they beat Chelsea. Is that an indicator of their bouncing back? New manager, caretaker manager bounce?
But the interview with James Ward-Prowse at the end of it said that the manager, I forget what his name is, but he's come in and he's really stripped it back. He's made it a little bit simple, and they've played the way that the team wants them to play.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could do it. I think Leeds, West Ham, and Bournemouth will go down. I think Southampton will do it.
Yeah,
Leeds, West Ham, and Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think who did we predict, Aidan? I predicted Southampton, Bournemouth, and Wolves. Actually,
I said Everton, Wolves, and Southampton. I think.
yeah. I'd love to see Leeds go down, but
So would I.
But that form from Leeds is very, very surprising. In their last 5, 3 losses and 2 draws. One of them was against United.
Yeah,
but they looked a team against us. I think it's just because they put up more of a fight against us. But I don't know. That table is just shocking reading for Chelsea. When you have a look at them, they've got a game in hand to Tottenham, but 11 points behind.
it's yeah. I don't know. It's.
Ben says at this rate,
It's
you
a
wouldn't rule
weird
Chelsea
table.
out. I assume you don't mean about top 4. I assume you mean relegation. What is it? The magic number to survive? Is it 40?
40, yeah.
Is it 40?
Yeah. So I'd love to see it, but no, I think they had a too good a start to the season to get relegated. I think. Yeah, still anyone's game down there at the bottom. Arsenal are now 2 points clear with their game in hand. And as Arsenal fans on Twitter will tell you, that's 3 points, a game in hand.
Oh.
Not you, Sean, just the Twitter fans, the Twitter Arsenal fans.
Gotta stay humble.
The mob. United increasing that gap between 4th and 5th, which Tottenham have just overtaken Newcastle for. Obviously, they've got the game in hand, but yeah, 7 points between us and Tottenham in 4th on the same games. Villa's form, though, Aidan, what's that all about? 3 losses in a row.
Yeah, it's not. It's concerning. Like, I know 2 of them were against Man City and Arsenal. The Leicester one I can't excuse any of them, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm being completely honest, Leicester. I started that game. I sat there and thought, easy 3 points. Out of form, Leicester, fucking piece of piss. But obviously, Leicester have now turned it on a little bit. I know they lost at the weekend, but they had 2 good wins. Man City, again, like I said, I didn't even watch the full game because of how poor we were in the first half. So we deserved a good fucking arse handing to us. And then Arsenal, I do feel like we should have come away with at least a point, but
You didn't.
we didn't. So
No, I don't disagree. As a neutral, I
Yeah.
don't disagree. I would have loved to
Yeah.
have seen Arsenal drop points, but yeah, taking the lead twice and losing is not
I
easy
think-
to take.
it hurts. And again, it's another thing that Villa need to work on. We've got a run of games now where I think we should definitely be picking up some points.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we start like 3 losses now, we have to win next weekend. We have to. Anything less, I'm going to start to panic. Because I don't want us drifting into a shit form. And again, the morale drops and all this shit starts kicking in and whatever. And then all of a sudden we find ourselves 14th, 15th, and we're starting to panic a little bit. So we need to really fucking turn it around now and start picking up points. Because we knew, like, first game, we sat there thinking, fucking hell, like, we've beat Tottenham, we beat Brighton, we beat these people. And now I'm sat there going, but yeah, we've just lost our last 3 under Unai as well. So, you know, swings and roundabouts.
I say you're the only team with that form as your last 3 games in the Prem as well, after Southampton's win.
Yeah,
So, worst form in the Prem at the minute.
not ideal.
I say no more.
Not ideal.
Like I said last week, Newcastle just slowly going under the radar with these draws. If they lose their next game, Brighton win their next 2, Brighton's level on points.
Wow.
So,
Ooh.
I think all to play for with these 4th, 5th, 6th European places. I still think the top 3 are nailed on as they are. What order it will be, I don't know. But, well, we'll see. We'll see.
Do you know Newcastle have only lost 2 games all season? And
Yes.
They're both to Liverpool.
Oh, they were both to Liverpool.
Yeah.
But the amount of draws is just shocking for them, I think.
Yeah.
That's going to be their undoing this season, if anything. And that,
11 draws.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Radio, what other games did we miss there? I think that's all the games, isn't it? No Monday Night Football to look forward to tomorrow,
Nope.
unfortunately. Let's move on then to, we'll have a quick overview of the European football this week. Again, it was just Man United versus Barca. Great game. I don't know if anyone saw it, but absolutely top tier game. You know, someone said it on the commentary team. I can't remember who it was. I don't know if that commentator who kept saying Araujo's name is Arahujo, whoever the fuck that was. Like, that needs to stop. That better not return on Thursday. Said that if that game was a semi-final leg in the Champions League, it would be called one of the greatest semi-final legs of all time.
Mm.
And I can't disagree. It was Barcelona being Barcelona. They're mental. I thought Barcelona died a few years ago when Messi left, but they look brilliant. Disappointing that we gave them that second goal, but yeah, I don't know what else happened in the Champions League. As you can see, pictured Adeyemi just going on a smashing run, finishing Chelsea
What
off.
finish that is!
That was a great goal.
Yeah, it really was a great goal.
Bayern Munich beat PSG 1-0. I think Tottenham lost 1-0. Did anything else exciting happen? I think we've got some good games to look forward to this week. Liverpool-Madrid is one I'll definitely be keeping my eyes on. I tend not to watch other European football because there's so much of it, and I just think I'll wait for the big game. So let's have a look. Tuesday, Frankfurt-Napoli. I think Napoli, right, I'm going to say it now, I think Napoli's a dark horse to win the Champions League.
They're on fire at the minute as well, aren't they? What are they, 18 points clear or something?
Storm in the league, yeah.
They're flying in the league. They can afford to put their eggs in the Champions League race.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think they've got a good tie in their first game. Frankfurt, who they're there for winning the Europa League, aren't they? Am I right in thinking?
Yes.
Eintracht Frankfurt?
Yeah.
I can't remember who won it last year.
Didn't they beat Rangers in the final?
Yes. Yeah, they did. I will do some research to be safe. But...
Yeah. The thing is, in my mind, it always seems to be like Villarreal or Sevilla that's won the Europa League. But when we're out of it, I forget. But I think that's the reason they're there. A good team nonetheless, but I don't think they're going to match the quality of Napoli. If they get a good run and find themselves in a semi-final, why not Napoli?
Dangerous team. Is it that Victor Osimhen?
Yeah.
And that Georgian player, I can't remember. I know his name, but I can't pronounce it. Kvaratskhelia or something. Who Liverpool were after.
Yeah, so it is Frankfurt.
Mm-hmm.
The current holders.
Leipzig, Man City on Wednesday into Porto. Again, Porto's just one of them teams that's always there and never does anything.
Yeah.
So some good games to look forward to. Again, the return fixture, Man United, Barca. They're all just playoffs, aren't they? Does anyone want to talk about the Conference League? Is anyone watching it?
I don't even know who's in it.
Andorran teams versus Moldovan teams.
Are there any English teams in it?
In the Conference League, I don't know about in the qualifying round. But this is like the playoff round of 32 before the last 16. That it's just crazy because it's such a stupid made-up round in this competition, and Man United Barcelona's playing in one of them. It's really annoying. But yeah, we'll want to give any predictions for the games. Liverpool, Madrid, do you think they could do it? I think on paper you're just going to say Madrid smash them, but
I think that game will be won in midfield, and Liverpool's midfielder pony their crap.
Yeah.
Anfield, though. Anfield Champions League nights are always special, aren't they?
They're always mental, aren't they?
If they concede early, then it becomes a library. That.
Yeah.
I don't really know too much about Real Madrid's current. Are they firing in the Spanish league? I don't really know.
Well, Barcelona are dominating the league. I think
Barcelona
Benzema's injured as well. And
I don't know.
And Hazard just is shit.
He is.
And I thought he's had a bad injury, hasn't he?
It's just lazy.
I was going to say, if being overweight is injured, then I'm calling in sick to work tomorrow.
John Obi Mikel did an interview the other day. Said he was the laziest player that he has ever worked with. He said he'd turn up for training, he'd do what he'd had to do, but then he'd do it on the day. He'd just like saunter around the training ground.
Let's have a look at. Let's do our pretend pundits research on the go. They're in good form. Lost to Mallorca away, which was a bit of a blip. Lost to Barcelona before that. So they're doing all right. Real Madrid, but like I say, it's Barcelona that are sort of not pissing the league, but they're 8 points clear on the same amount of games.
Yeah.
Depends if Nunes is fit, to be fair. Honestly, I'd be glad that you've got, Gakpo and Nunes and all that coming into form as you're approaching the game. Because if you'd have played Real Madrid 6 weeks ago, I'd have said Liverpool would have got absolutely slaughtered. But
yeah,
I don't know. I think they'll be aiming for maybe a 1-0 with away goals not mattering anymore. To be honest. Yeah, with away goals not counting anymore, they'll be happy with any lead.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be 1-1. Personally, Liverpool, Real Madrid.
I mean, I knew they overcome that 3-0 to Barcelona.
But that was the year they won it, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I think the second leg's always different, so I don't think that they can go out and just get a 3-0 win.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I'll hold my hands up next week and I won't be nice to Liverpool fans, but I can't see them getting a big win.
No, they won't. There won't be domination. Jesus
as long
Christ,
as they're still in it, I think is their best hope.
Yeah, if they can make it to the final, they can fucking be happy with that, considering how they've performed this season.
Absolutely. We'll have a little analysing of that next week. There's more games I'm actually interested in, like Spurs and Chelsea in the Champions League. I'm not that worried for some reason, but there you go. Maybe that's just me. We'll quickly cover the Man United takeover. Now, I'm not an expert on what's been going on with all of this stuff. I really just want to hear your opinion as outsiders. So if we start with Aidan,
right.
What are your thoughts on the news that's gone on this week with Man United's takeover? So 2 big bids, one from Qatar, QSI, whatever, essentially the same owners as PSG, but not. Who have got 300 plus billion. And then Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe, local businessman from Manchester, who's worth 11 billion, together with a consortium to buy. Does it bother you who takes over Man United? Do you think it changes much?
I mean, I think it should be like when Newcastle got taken over, won't it? Mm-hmm. Obviously, if you get taken over by the Qatarian person, whoever it is, say Prince of Qatar or whatever his name is.
It's someone. His name's El Thani. He's like, royalty essentially. He's a sheikh.
So I think it is going to be the whole thing of like when Newcastle got taken over, and then you'll come in, they'll throw money everywhere. United will have this fucking reinforced team again, all the best players. I think that'll be the case. And I'll just be sat here as a Port Villa fan watching us sign some fucking lad from Wigan for £12 million. But I think for United it's good. Like, with everything going on with them, all the crap that they've had the past few years, it'll be good for United. But as a Villa fan, it's shit. It's shit, because obviously it just means you guys are going to be spouting money into the league like Man City have done. Because this will make you richer than Newcastle, won't it? I believe they're worth more than Newcastle. Yeah,
I think it's, it's not a dick measuring contest sort of thing when you're comparing 200 to 300 billion. But
I mean, 100 billion goes a long way, do you know what I mean? But
I'll have it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I'll take the difference.
There's a lot of opinions, in the Man United fan base. It's very much there's no sitting on the fence. It's either you want it or you don't. The main argument is they're just using their money to like sort of sports wash. There's also a lot of the talk about before the World Cup about Qatar, what the human rights records are, their stance on LGBTQ. But the thing is, I get that. That's the thing in Qatar. That's their laws, their rules. Whether you agree with it or not, that's theirs. That's not for us to dictate.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're not going to come into Manchester United and go, right, any work you do for LGBT charities or any of the stuff that doesn't happen in Qatar, they're not going to stop that. I don't think people understand that.
No.
They can't. Like, surely to God, they can't even try that because it would just be fucking uproar.
No, absolutely they wouldn't. The same as Man City's not done with their owners, the same as Newcastle haven't done with their owners. I think what it helps us with, I think both bids have promised us debt-free. And just going back to your point earlier, Aidan, about the Glazers out, if you watch any United game this season, whether we're winning, losing, drawing, the fans are singing Glazers out constant. It's not just when we're losing. I know people like to say that to try and get under our skin. Not you, but Twitter.
No, yeah.
But it's always happening. It's non-stop. And what's happening is, as Manchester United's revenue, we've paid £2 billion towards debt interest payments, right? And the club's still 500 million in debt. So how does that work? They've paid $2 billion.
So they bought the club and then they leveraged the debts against the club, didn't they? So they bought their shares out into the club.
Yeah, I can't remember the price, but yeah, they took out loans and they used Manchester United Football Club as collateral against the loans, and then put the debt on the club.
Yeah.
So they didn't even buy Man United, and they've received 2 bids this week, one for 4 billion and one for 5 billion, and they've not paid a penny.
I definitely think that needs to be sorted. I don't think teams should be able owners should be able to do that.
That has changed now recently. You're no longer allowed to leverage, buy a club with a leverage like loans like that. It was too late for us, but I think the only thing that I worry about is you look at Man City and you think the success that they've done over the years, but they're now in the middle of a controversy. You've got to feel sorry for the real fans. The fans that have been there, in Division 2 where they belong and probably are going to be again soon.
All three of them, I'm sure they're gutted.
Exactly, and I don't want us to be in any sort of, when you're dealing with these multi-billionaires, you just can't help but feel there's a controversy waiting around the corner.
Yeah,
that's going to get us in trouble. Like Man City had to inflate their commercial revenue. We have that revenue, and now we're going to have it to spend, which is brilliant. But yeah, that's my only worry. I don't care who owners. I don't care if it's someone from Qatar, someone from Manchester, someone from the moon. I don't care who it is, as long as they do what's right for the club and legally. Yeah. This is going to be a weekly section soon. Aidan sorted his mustache.
I'm so sorry.
Out, isn't it?
It's because it's so long. I can just see it hanging over my lip, and I keep forgetting, so I'm just like trying to move it away. Right, I'll have shave tomorrow.
I think there's going to be a lot of pundits that are going to be eating humble pie with their comments on Qatar and the owners of Newcastle. I think it was Gary Neville himself that said something about when Newcastle were bought over by the Saudi state. They were saying that we shouldn't be allowing these owners to come in and put all this money into it, and now is there backtracking, I'm sure, going, the Qatari state, that didn't mean any harm, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
He already backtracked for the World Cup, didn't he? Like
he did.
He condemned it being in Qatar, but then when he got the chance to go on a luxury exclusive thing with David Beckham, he ripped his hand off, didn't he? So I think Neville's problem with this stuff isn't necessarily his standpoint. I think it's just his lack of power. He's such a politician, and he just doesn't. He probably does realise it, but yeah, he's just honestly he's too political for me, Gary Neville. I love him because he's probably one to me, he's my second favourite commentator on football games, apart from United, because he tries to be too neutral, or tries to overcompensate about Man
Really?
United. When he commentates on Man United games, he compensates so hard that he doesn't want to appear biased, so he almost goes the other way. It's just annoying. But yeah, I think he commentates well on games.
Just out of curiosity, who's number one if Gary Neville's number two?
Yeah, I
Peter
can't
Drury.
remember
There's no question.
Oh, yeah.
that. Fair.
So is
Yeah.
your favourite pundit, is he?
Not pundit as such, no. My favourite pundit is not Micah Richards, it's probably Roy Keane.
I love Roy Keane.
Yeah,
He's just funny as fuck. Like,
yeah, I love Roy Keane.
him and Micah together are just funny. Like, I wouldn't
It's class.
value Micah's opinion on what he says about football, but him and Roy Keane bouncing off each other is just great. Graham Souness, just get him straight in the bin. He's
a dinosaur of the game now, wasn't he?
They've got to stop getting him on the show. Just tear his contracts up.
Yeah.
He laid into the Sabitzer challenge, and you got to ask yourself, where was Pogba in all of this?
Literally. Literally.
Oh dear. But yeah, for me again, it's going to progress this week about United's takeover. Sean, do you have any extra thoughts about it? Are you?
For the game itself, I prefer the English chap to buy it, just so that, because I don't think there's many Englishmen or English owners of the Premier League teams now, is there? I think you get the same amount of investment. You'll get because your commercial revenue is so high. I don't think it matters who your owner is, as long as they stop taking money out of the club. But you've got to spend close on £1 billion to sort that stadium out and the training complex. Yeah, maybe even more. So when you're worth 12 billion, sorry, and you got to pay, was it 7 billion to buy it?
I think the Qataris are the highest bidders at the minute at 5 billion. Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos have bid 4.5, I believe. I could be completely mashing my numbers here, but the estimated input that United would need to redevelop the stadium, which they both said they're going to do, I think is looking between 8 and 10 billion.
Yeah.
So Ratcliffe won't do it on his own. I don't care at this stage. As soon as we get the Glazers out, it's an instant win. I'm just worried if it's not going to be the Qataris or him, it's just going to be another American consortium of some sort that don't care about football. The last thing we want is another Todd Burley at our club just doing outrageous shit.
Let's see what Joe's putting.
Literally, I was trying not to laugh at that as well. I started like sucking on my bottom lip, so I want to start laughing.
Gary Neville wears his United shirt when he commentates, but he says neutral. No, I know what you mean. He celebrates United goals and he wants United to win. But honestly, listen back to some of the games he's commented. I should be able to find a compilation of this somewhere. But he almost goes too much the other way. Like, let's just say there's a VAR or a contentious decision about a yellow card or a handball. If it's against a Man United player, he doesn't like fight their corner. He used to, but people obviously got to him too much, and he doesn't now. Honestly,
I was laughing at the tomato snaps comment.
Yeah, cost of living hit the English too hard, Sean.
Yeah,
Can't afford a bag of tomato snaps. Never mind United.
Yeah, Jim Ratcliffe was worth 11 billion, but then he got his Eon bill through the post, and he's worth 6 now.
Yeah, literally, it's an absolute joke.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know when even the next stage of this stuff is, to be honest. I know the bid deadline is over, the soft deadline, but we'll see.
The Glazers want to buy Liverpool, don't they?
I heard that, but I don't know how true it is.
Can you imagine? The terrace for Man United would be full of songs, wouldn't it? You know, they've spent the last 12 years trying to get rid of them. Maybe no, it's longer than 12 years.
But knowing our look, the Glazers would buy Liverpool, not put them in any debt, and bloody take them back to winning a treble or something. That would literally be our look with the Glazers, honestly. Yeah. I think what's happened with Liverpool is, though, their fans are quite pissed off because didn't FSG come out and backtrack and say, we actually don't want to sell the club, we only want to sell like 49%.
Yeah, they just
Oh,
want
cool.
investment, don't they? They
Yeah.
want somebody else to pump the money in.
Okay.
So we're getting owners worth 300 billion potentially soon, and Liverpool are just like, no, you're going to stay the same.
Let them have Mike Ashley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Glazers and Mike Ashley in a consortium.
Oh,
Jesus.
The Tampa Bay Sports Direct soccer
Oh,
establishment.
Oh, my God. It'd be carnage, wouldn't it?
that's reminded me. There is. Have you seen Bolton Wanderers do stadium sponsors? I'm just
No.
finding it. Oh my God, it was the funniest.
Wasn't it before the Macron?
I don't know what it was. Just trying to find it now. It is a Bolton-based building project manufacturer, and they're called Tough Sheet. So they're going to be renamed as the Tough Sheet Community Stadium.
No.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's a ruse, but it's on Bolton's official Twitter page.
It's not April the 1st already, is it? That can't be real.
I hope it is.
Tough Sheet. Oh man.
Oh, my God.
Oh, dear.
That's fucking quality.
I mean, they didn't have to do that. Their club's already a joke.
Yeah, literally. Poor bastards. Oh, my God.
Well, they were proper on the verge of administration as well, so any money,
Yeah.
they have to get any money where they can take, I suppose.
Yeah, they'll take literally anything, I think.
Oh, dear. Right. That just about leaves us out of things to talk about this week then, gents.
Yeah.
Looking ahead, what have we got looking ahead, Sean?
Arsenal play Leicester and then Everton again. Everton. Do we play Everton at home or do we play them away?
It must be home because you
we
played them.
have-
You played them away, didn't you? Last week.
Yeah.
What was the score in that game again?
I don't want to talk about that. We're looking ahead, Andy.
Yeah, forget the past.
But yeah, they're tough games. We're still not in a title fight yet. We'll talk about it when we get to like 34 games. Then we'll talk about it.
Right, here's a hypothetical for you. What would be if Arsenal was to lose the league now? Would it be worse than the year of the Gerrard slip?
No, because they went into it. What was it? 6 points with 3 games to go, or something.
Yeah.
6 points ahead with 3 games to go, and then Gerrard slipped over Denver Bar. The rest is history. Oh no, it's the Crystal Palace game. That was the best one, wasn't it? They went 3-0 up, and then it was 3-all.
3-all, yeah.
White Gale made Luis, Cristambul made Luis Suarez cry his eyes out, didn't he?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was the best one.
I love it. Seeing Luis Suarez cry, especially after all the Everest stuff, is just not music to my ears, but whatever the crying visual equivalent is.
And him biting opposition constantly on the pitch.
No, Joe. Sean will not acknowledge the fact that Arsenal are top of the league.
No,
because
you got to stay humble.
Tell that to all of the people on TikTok. Tell that to every Arsenal fan on TikTok and Twitter. Staying humble. It doesn't exist.
You can't talk about it because if you talk about it, it's like this song's about when you remember when Leicester won the league and Spurs were second. There's songs of them coming third in a 2-horse race. You never live it down. I can't live it down if I say I'm in it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I'll give you that, and especially like you say about the Gerrard slip. That's just funny, isn't it? That was just really bad. But hey ho. Here was a question. I can't remember if I asked it last week, but they said if Man City was to get stripped of all their titles and stuff from the years that they were meant to be fiddling the numbers, Liverpool would get 3 and Man United would get 3. And one of the United podcasts I listened to, they was asking the guys, they said, would you take it, you getting an extra 3 titles if it meant Liverpool getting 1? And someone goes, does that mean Gerrard would get 1? And he went, yeah. He went, well, no then. That is the level of pettiness that I can relate to. If it means that Gerrard doesn't get 1, no, I don't want the other 3 either. Again, same again next week. I think it's going to be 9:00 on a Sunday. The 3 of us will hopefully all have something to smile about next week. It should be possible. We play.
Oh, I hope so.
Well, we don't play in the league next week. We've got a little cup final to deal with. So, honestly, this time next week, I could be sat here not wanting to be here, and I'll just be quiet, because if we lose both games, I'll be gutted. But I would, and I'm saying this now before it happens, I would happily lose on Thursday if it meant winning on Sunday, because I think that trophy is important. A trophy is important. Top four's wrapped up, so we don't need the Europa League. We don't. If we're not in a title race like Arsenal are.
No, don't say it.
I said it. It's okay. I stand alone from Sean's opinion on Arsenal and their title race. But yeah, if we're knocked out of the Europa League and we've won the cup final, we've just got the FA Cup and the league to deal with, where less games. No Thursday, Sundays. I think it'll be good for us, but if we're in it, who cares? Ten Hag wants it all. Ten Hag wants it all.
Yeah, he's going for everything.
Oh boy, my manager. I fucking love him. I'm in love. What we got in the chats before we head out? Still not in a title race. Stay humble while laughing at Martinez header.
It was funny.
You can't. Even Villa fans can't deny that Aiden will be going next week. Going, yeah, actually, fuck up. He's got an Arsenal calendar with the pages stuck together for every time they get 3 points. Okay, it's past the watershed, so that's fine. And if you lose, you'll come. If you lose, I'll come watch. If you win, I'm not coming.
Fuck's sake!
Wow. I hope you will be here next week anyway, Joe. Thank you very much for being here and chatting up. Ben, Sam, Oliver, Paulina, guys, thank you very much for coming and chatting and hanging out. What else, guys? That's it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
No,
just see you all next week.
Oh, no, that means I've got to go to bed and go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, I've got don't know.
Aiden's probably got a little matter of streaming to do, so if you're into your games, your Twitch, you can head over to the description of this video or to our bio. Links are down there for both myself and Aiden. We do all the Twitch stuff, all the TikTok stuff. You know what to do. You know where to find the links. Sean is active on, I think, just Twitter at the moment. We'll get him linked up, but if you want to follow, that's sdixon90, I think, on Twitter. Lovely. And we'll see you again next week. Aiden's going back in for the mustache twirl.
One last time, because Joe said have a shave, Aiden. I'm going to tomorrow. I'm going to tomorrow, possibly. We'll see. Probably won't.
Right. Thank you very much, guys, and see you all next time.
See you later, guys.
See ya.